Hi guys, welcome to a new video. It's been a while since I posted. I've been busy doing LOR report stuff. However, I have a couple of moments free today, and I decided why not do a reaction to the patch, because this patch is huge. Total, we have 10 new cards, and we have 66 balance changes that I counted. Probably wrong there, because I don't think I counted the adjustment, which you will see later in the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share, and you'll be able to see. I'm looking at all of the patch. This is being recorded on Sunday. It's now 3:54. I get the patch notes early as press. However, they're embargoed until Tuesday. So this video will be going live exactly as the patch notes go live. I'll be able to have a bit of a insight going into the patch notes and what I think is going to be, like, a lot of people will have their own opinion. This is mine, basically. So, I'm going to unshare my share screen, and you'll get to see the first changes here. So, we're starting with the standard balance, and we're going to do the nerfs. So, I'm using the LOR reports images. See there? But I'm just going to cover the Runeterra report logo with my face. So, the first one. Champion Strength. As a Demacia enjoyer, it's upsetting that this card has had to be nerfed. However, it is fully understandable why. In my opinion, this card was made so that Demacia decks, such as Elite, can have a finisher. It's a shame that because of that, other regions can... Yeah, it's a shame that it's been hit. It's mainly was abused by Bandle City before it was pushed to 9 mana, and in the most recent one, me and Bayatak did a co-host stream for the Runeterra Open for the World Qualifier on the Siren Song patch, and watching the entire competitive day made me realize that this card needed to be done. So 9 to 8, but it's no longer giving Scout. So all this is now is an 8 mana, give your units +4/+4, and rally. So is it still going to be good? Yes. Has it lost a lot of its impact? Yes. You'll probably see a lot of people moving off Champion Strength as a win con, because you can just like block it out now, and you don't have to worry of redeveloping a board afterwards. It is now better to play on a defensive turn. You're not missing out on the scout. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it had to happen for the game, and unfortunately, this is the one we've got with. So with this one, I'm going to give a quick rating for each one. Champion Strength is it's a good nerf for me. I think it was definitely required. Moving on to the middle card, we're looking at Fish Fight, an incredibly strong card. It is the same cost as Single Combat, and it kept its same cost as well, even though it could be used as a single-sided Shrike, which is pretty strong, especially with the decks that were mainly Jaxorn. This card was insane in Jaxorn. I think I've seen this on my timeline in the past 2 days by 20 different people asking this card to be nerfed. And I think this was the exact nerf they were looking for. Personally, I could see this being 3 mana just for the single-sided strike. However, I'm fine with it being 3 mana for just for both of them. Like, the versatility, that's the reason why it has to be 3. I can see that. So this one, it gets another thumbs up. They give this another A if we're doing it in this one. So this one over here, we're gonna give an A, and this one here. Also, just making sure that I'm recording. Summit Monument. Okay. Summit Monument, design-wise, very cool. I like it. How it actually plays out is insanely broken. 3 mana, just I cannot die next turn as long as you have, like, maybe 5 or more health. Because the chance that you draw 5 puff caps from this, if your opponent swings, is just, like, it's impossible. Like, you just negate the lethal. And with the decks that wants to be played in, You're playing that on like turn 5, turn 6, and your Karina in turn, and you're condensing the Karina and then playing Karina again. So this one, it's going 3 to 4, which is good. The puff cap number, I probably would like to see go higher, but I like this nerf, and I give this one a B on the scale of nerf. I still think you're going to see it. It might still be a little bit of a problem, but we will see. The next one, Condense. Condense 2 to 3 mana. This isn't the change I would have personally gone for. I think the change that this card needed was Burst to Focus. But a nerf is a nerf, so I'll take it. And yeah, I think it was just being too good in the Karina decks, too good in the Red Rex decks, good in the Broad main decks. And yeah, it had to get hit eventually. So this one, I'll give it a B if I had to rate it. It's a good nerf, because I'm happy that it got nerfed. But yeah, no, I definitely would wish I could see it as a focus card. I think that was the reason for a lot of people. Next one, Swain. This is probably one that I've asked for a while. I don't think I've actually publicly said anything about it. Swain leveled way too easily. If you played Watchful Idol, which is the Alawi card, the 0/5 on turn 1, you basically won the game. Because it would deal 6 to itself. Even though it had 5 health, it would deal 6 to it, which means you only have to somehow deal 6 non-combat damage, which is very easy to do in Swain decks. So he was leveling on turn 5, like, most of the time. Like, you would play him leveled, which I don't think he should be. He should be leveling turn 7, maybe. You can do it probably turn 6 still, maybe turn 5 if you get lucky, but, like, this is acceptable. I give this one an A. I think this is a really good nerf. You will still see him played. He's not gutted. He's just pulled back a little bit. We're reducing the power. And one, this card, this is a change that I love. They did the exact same thing with Caustic Rift, and they've done it with this one, with Pirouette. It's going from 2 to 3 mana, but increasing the discount from 1 to 2. So it will still cost 1 when Plunder is activated, which is good. Pirouette at 2 mana is insane. I'm surprised it actually lasted this long. And I think it's because of the Swain decks, because of the other decks that were on it, the Jin Broadmain decks. I don't know if they ran it. No, they couldn't run that. But the decks that could run it, really good card for 2 mana. And it doesn't punish the Plunder decks. If you want to play this with a Plunder deck, you can. It costs 1 still. But if you're not activating Plunder, you're not playing this card at 3. Which is good. It's same with the Caustic Rift. Caustic Rift was absolutely broken at 3, and they upped it to 4, and they're like, hey, you can still have it at the discounted price, but you have to activate Flow. Yes, it's a lot more awkward to play now, but it's still a decent card. This one, I'm giving an S for the nerf. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want to see. If a card has an effect to discount the price, make it so that most of the time the decks that want to play it can activate it, and like 3 mana for this is very fair. I like this. The next one, Purifying Flames, which is probably one of my favorite spells. Like, I like in the art sense. I really like the art of this card. I think this card does in most decks is really bad just because of what it does. It's too slow. It's very expensive. And there's a lot of removal in the meta right now. But yeah, it's still good, especially in elusives, which was why the reason it's getting nerfed here. It's instead of +3/+3 to one unit and 2/2 to another, it's both units are getting 2/2. This is purely because of the Targon elusives, which is basically the only way you're playing elusives now. If you want to play elusives, you're going Targon and you're going another region that has elusive. This is understandable. Elusives will always be a problem in this game, as when you generate a card that can buff them. Yeah, I see this as a good change. Will it be enough? I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's only -1 to a unit, really. That's all they've done. It'll probably still see play, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's gonna happen with Sump Monument, because that's like one of the reasons why the Targon elusives was doing well. But I like this change. I'm giving this an A. The next one, Lord Broadmain. Me and Aikaido couldn't be more opposite on this card. I think this card is absolutely insane. In the decks it's playing, you're only running pings. So it's like, if this card comes down, like, oh, he plays a thing, he plays his broad main, and if you don't just straight remove it, like, as it's coming down, it's basically near impossible to do. I'm playing more mid-range decks, and I mean that in the sense of, okay, most of the time my units are going to be damaged. Mid-ranged, I have high stats, I'm trading down the board, they're going to be like, if they have 5 health, they'll be on 2, they'll be on 3. And this comes down, and it puts it on a 5 attack, for a 5 health to a 3. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to strike this broad main. I'm going to sacrifice my unit, I'm gonna kill him. And then they play like a Pythos, and it just kills the unit, because it's doing 2 extra damage to it. Yeah, this card was insane. It's a it's a back row card. It's an engine that is... I don't mind it being in the game. I think it should be in the game. Its health was way too much though. So the fact it's losing 1 health, I like it a lot. Yeah, I think this was necessary. I'm fairly sure, if my memory serves me right, it was a 3-4, or it might have been a 2-4. I could have seen this losing 1 attack, but I like the fact it's lost 1 health. Riot like to do weird changes, and this going from 3 to 2 attack, I probably could have saw Riot doing that. But I'm glad that they actually chose the correct answer and chose the health. So this one, I'm going to give an A as well. I like this one, and yes. Boss of Helia is it's an interesting one. It was known as the meme card for a long time, and for some unknown reason, it just picked up pace. This was long after it got buffed as well to 4. It was 5, it got put to 4. I'm fairly sure we didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, people were like, oh yeah, Vaults is playable now. And everyone was like, oh yeah, nice one. Like, I can also meme. And then, yeah, no, it became insane with Nasus. Nasus went from 2 attack to 3. Sorry, went from a 2-2 to a 3-3. Maybe that was enough to push Vaults into the state it's in now. But I can see this being an acceptable change. I was never a fan of Nasus, really. You play this on 4. You remove all of your opponent's units as early as you can. You play this on 4. You're playing your 5 attack on turn 5. Sorry, 5 mana card on turn 5. And then Nasus comes out as like a 7/7. It's like, well, I can't really answer that. Unless you've got like specifically cards that can counter Nasus. And like, Nasus also runs Denies. He also runs Rekindlers. So like, yeah, it just gets to the point where it's like, can't really do anything. I teched in... I was running a Freljord deck. I was running an Astral Blank deck, to be specific. And I was running... what's it called? Scorched Earth. The landmark destroying card. And I was taking this card out, and opponents were like, giving me shocked emotes. Because they were like, oh my god, no one like runs landmark removal anymore. Apart from like P and Z, because they have it on their Tailstone. Yeah, it's it kind of forces you to run landmark removal when this is in the meta, and landmark removal is there isn't a lot of it, like straight up. So yeah, I like this change. I give this one an A as well. So I'll combine these two in the same boat because they're both for the same deck. Squeaker loses 1 attack. It's 2 aggro in its deck in the decks that it's in. Especially with the 2 health. Because normally what happens is you play Squeaker on 2 into Returnal Wrench. And then you're already running, like, Mecha Yordles are already overstatted anyway. So it's like, if you can't deal with this somehow, then they both become an issue. So this going to 1 attack, I'm fine with that. This is an A on the tier list. This is a good change. The Returnal Wrench is a bit strange. To me, it was designed as an aggro card, and now it's no longer an aggro card. It's just discard fodder, which I don't think you're probably still gonna run it in the discard decks because it's a constant discard. But like, giving 1 health and no impact is kind of weird. I don't know. You'll have to tell me what you guys think. I think this is a very weird change. Like, changed the entire direction of it. I give this one a B. Actually, you might get a C. It just felt weird. Like, I could see this giving 1 attack, and then it's like, oh, okay, it still is dealing 1, but you can block it. But, yeah, I don't know about this. It feels like this might not be played. But I don't play this deck, so I don't happen. I guess we'll see. And the last one is Fleet Admiral Shelley. For some reason, I've spelled Shelley wrong here, which means I'm going to have to go back and date this thing. But yeah, for now, the Sheely. Yeah, this card is probably one of the more controversial cards in the meta. He comes down, and if he's got the mana, he'll always get value. So like, okay, at least I want to get the value, because normally you're playing Shelley down with a board at least, and the fact that they can get the buffs before you can do anything is annoying. So removing a tune just means that you can't play the spell, which is fine. I could probably see this going to, depending. Well, I know what's coming up next. I could definitely see this card being changed again. Yeah. For now, I'll take a yes. I'll take a Shelley buff. I'm not a massive fan of Shelley myself. But yeah, we'll give this one a B. No, it's probably an A. A tune in the decks it's playing is probably quite important. I'll give this an A. Yeah. I think this is the end of the nerfs, by the way, which means you're only going to see buffs from here on out. So, let me. Oh, hold on. Let me just. We're at the end of the images start with the buffs, and I wanted to start on the nerf. So here we go. The Warlord Palace and Horde are going back to countdown 8. In the patch notes, they specifically mention Momentous Choice not being what it was. Yep. Shurima needs some help. I'm fine with this. Give Akshan some of his glory back. Riven. So her card reads at the moment, you can see it here. Each round, the first time you increase my power, increase it by twice that amount. So that is only a temporary effect. So for example, she's a 4/5. If I give her 5 attack, she will become a 14/5. And then at the end of the round, she returns back to a 4/5. At least with this, I can give the Riven 5 attack, and she will then be a 9/5, like, constantly, even when that effect has gone down. So it's a nice change. It'll probably help Rivens. There's probably a Riven deck here now. I can definitely see it happening. But yeah, well, I like this buff. It's oh yeah, so I never got this. A. I think all of these are good. I think this is definitely needed for. The next one, Poro King. When I level up, create a special snacks in hand. Yeah, Poro King is one of those cards where a lot of the people that are quite good at this game, for example, I think off the top of my head, Broken Ball, never ever wants to see Poro King be meta. And I think that's a fair say. I think Poro King is going to be absolutely insane in Eternal because you have the elusive Poro. In Standard though, yeah, I think this is just okay enough. Like, you're not pushing him too far. I think the moment you start printing Poro support Standard again, you're gonna start being on that line. But for now, I think this is a suitable change. Gets an A. Quick one for this one, Frosted Snack. It's being changed from Frostbite an enemy with 3 or less health to Frostbite an enemy. I'm just going to say A. This card felt really bad to play. This was probably the worst one you could have got. Considering what the other ones were doing, I think this was... this is an A. This is good. Storm Guardian is going back to a 2/3. They specifically mentioned they killed the bird, they killed Samira. They think they can give this back. And I agree. I think this card... it was neat. I tried to play a Daybreak deck maybe 2 weeks ago, and I felt really bad. Like, I'm playing this as a 3/3, and I'm just like... Especially with what the meta was. So, I like this change. This gets an A. It's just a revert, but yeah, get an A from it. The next one, Rocket Barrage, is from dealing 3 to the targeted enemy to deal 4. I apologize for my... I think this is a okay change. I don't think there's anything else to say here. Like, it might see some play in a PNZ deck, but I don't play PNZ, so I don't know how I feel about this. probably good into like aggro now. You can like, you can play it against a Jinx for now, level Jinx for health. But I don't know. I can't give a tier on this one because it's either gonna be really good or really bad still, and I just don't know. I'll put it in the B for now. We'll say B. I like the change. I think it's something that yeah, it needed. It gets a B. Bristlehog, it will become a 3/3. I'm just going to say A, yes. 1-drops turning into 3/3s with a condition, I think is fine for the game. They have Chip, they have the Elite Dog, you got Bristlehog being like the examples here. Yep, this is A. Sure, I don't think I've seen this card in play ever. So sure, you can have that. And Blunt Pack Poacher, he's getting 1 health, so that he's less likely to die to removal after he captures the unit that he locks. Yeah, I don't know. It still feels like you're probably gonna need this to have at least 4 health to see any play. However, you can get 4 health if you play this with a what's his name? Knack Attack? Knack Attack gives +1/+1, right? Yeah, if you have Knack Attack on board, this being a 3/4 is probably quite good actually. But just base? No. With Knack Attack, yes. So I give this an A because the ambush cards I really like. I like the idea of ambush. It's just a shame most of them were crap. So yeah, this one also gets an A. I like this one. Okay, the next one. Oh god, alright. So Riot, we need to talk. This is for all of the developers watching this. Giving a unit the ability to get health by doing something else, bit of an issue in this game. I had it before, and yeah, it got cancelled. So Nami is returning. So first, let's just mention this. Nami's level 2, getting the health given back, which before all the alarm bells go off, they are making it harder for Nami to level. So they're changing her level from 8+ spell mana to you've played spells with Nami in play. So like Nami has to be in board, an allied Nami, you're playing 6 spells. I think this is probably as fair as they can go. However, if this number increases, I would not be surprised. Your opponent plays a Nami, so they had just say they have 7 cards in hand. They play a Nami, and you have removal for Nami at fast speed or slow speed. They can level Nami if they wanted to. But if it's all 6 spells in hand, they're leveling Nami. She's going to give the board 6 attack in stats, and then she's going to level, and you're going to have no cards left in hand. I think this is as fair as they go, because I'm going to be honest here. I don't think she's going to be leveling that often. There's probably times where she does, and I could definitely see a Samira and Nami deck in the future. Maybe. It's going to abuse the elusives. You probably, because like Samira gives you 3 spells. That's why I'm saying that. The only issue is you don't have any protection in that deck. So I don't know about this one. But yeah, this giving 1 health has always been an issue. It has been an issue since every single card that can do this, it has become an issue on. Yeah, I think this is as fair as they go though. However, if this number increases, I won't be surprised. I like how they've done this, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, we got some interesting changes here. So I tried to like group all of these images together. So we've got Dragon Guard Lookout going to a 5/5. I think is really good now. You probably won't run 3 sets of them. You probably run 2 at the max. But good change. This card was bad. The effect was good. The stats were awful. So I think this now is A. Yes. Good change. Strafing Strike healing 5 instead of 2 is crazy in my opinion. I thought if you were going to buff this card, you'd buff it to 3. Maybe an insane person would buff it to 4. I have zero idea why it's healing 5. I understand that Shyvana is very bad at the moment. I did a challenge on stream where I played every champion in a Demacia deck and I could not overlap champions regions. Shyvana obviously goes with Asol, so I put them together, Demacia Targon. It took me 3 games to win for the Shyvana deck. And even then, I only won because Strafe and Strike, and I was like, this card is really good. I like Strafe and Strike. The fact this card is getting a heal 3 onto this now is crazy. Bear in mind, Shyvana makes a 2-cost version of this when she's leveled. So, I don't know. This one is an S+ change for Shyvana decks, and I would not be surprised if someone figures out a deck. If the meta slows down, I could 100% see a Shyvana deck coming into the meta. I'm saying it now. This is crazy, in my opinion. And then, this is S, this was A. Confront, if it's a dragon, draw 1. I like it. It's really cool. Conditional draw in Demacia, which has always been a condition. You can't just have draw in Demacia. It has to be conditional draw. And I like it. It's, basically, this has always been 2 cost. Granting Challenger has always costed 2. So basically, you've just added draw onto this for 0 cost. So, is this going to see play now? You probably might see play. Dragons did struggle a bit for draw. I could definitely see the scene. I don't think you're main decking this, but you're more you're more likely to play Shyvana's version. But yeah, I give this one an A, S, and then A. And this is the last buff for standard. Thread the Needle, Eradication, and Dawning Shadow are all reducing in 1 cost. Thread the Needle, going to 2. I think I'm fine with that. I'm not going to complain about it too much when struggling to see play now anyway. And I think 2 mana for basically a unit atrocity. This is fair. Eradication going to 5 is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. You played this card at 6 quite confidently in Time of Jace. I could probably see this getting reverted if there was a Shadow Isles control. Good. So sure. And this is just turning into a slow Vengeance, which also has an up. The upside of playing this now is if you play your Vengeance at slow, you're also going to give all units -2. I think it's fine, because I don't think I saw anyone main deck this. The actual Dawning Shadow's main deck. I just don't think you saw. So, yeah. I like this change. It'll also help Senna decks. Only Darkness. I'm not a fan of Darkness, but maybe we see some other Senna decks that actually want to play it. So, there's one more change. Let me find it for you. For standard. We're moving adjustment. Adjustment is these cards. So, Jax is changing from an allies have struck for 12 damage to an you've attacked with 16+ power from equipped allies. If you don't quite understand what's happening here, if you attack with Jax, it's 3. You attack with him again, it's 6. Attack with him again, it's 9. So, that's what it means by you've attacked with 16+ power. The thing that's going to happen here is that when you attack, Jax will level on the attack, and then his level 2 form will give him the buff. That is how they explained it in the patch notes. It's fine, because they nerfed Fist Fight. Jax would have struggled quite a bit with Fist Fight going to 3. They've buffed him up a little bit. They made him more difficult to level. They've nerfed him a little bit, but I think the nerf with this being a buff that he can level and get the attack buff, I think is fine. So this gets a good change, and I saw someone on Twitter were like, "Hey, these are definitely phase." Can looking at other cards. So they did a meme in the patch notes, and they were like, "Yep, we had our animal zoologist inspect these, and they are in fact phase. They both gone to phase." So, sure. What I will do now is I'm just gonna turn this off, and I'm gonna pull up the the Eternal changes. I'm gonna start with the Vladimir rework. So, we call it the Vladimir rework. However, all that's happening is he's getting an additional line of text on it. And you can see here, he's going to have play. Deal 1 to any number of allies, deal that much to an enemy. So, if you have 5 units on board, you could deal 1 to all of them, and then that means you could deal 5 to an enemy unit. Honestly, I think this is going to see a lot of play for Vladimir. He's now potentially dealing... Well, you can also remove the units because it's a skill. But yeah, he's coming down and striking a unit immediately, basically. Which is pretty funny. I definitely think he's going to see some play now. I don't think he'll be up there, but it's a good buff. It's pretty cool. And he gets this on his level 1 and level 2. So, just a quick thing. He's getting that effect. I had it confirmed with Riot, because in the patch notes, they say that the attack... So this thing here is a skill. This skill is called Crimson Pact. They've changed Crimson Pact on the patch notes for this play effect. And I'm like, could you just confirm that this is still a skill? And they were like, yes, it's still a skill. It's just that both of the effects are going to share a name and the art. But it'll be 2 separate skills. And I'm like, okay, that is fine. Because I thought his attack was going to be burst speed. Like, I was like, that is crazy. You can just attack with a 6-wide board, Vladimir at the left, and you will immediately do 5 to the enemy nexus. Which is not the case. Let me just put that out there. That is not the case. That is not going to happen. But yeah, let me quickly pull up the eternal nerfs. Sorry, eternal buffs. There are no eternal nerfs because we dealt with them last patch. So, I'm going to go very quick through these because, I'm not going to lie, I think most of the eternal cards are a miss. And I mean that in the sense of they don't want to go too ham with them. So a lot of them are quite small changes that won't actually do much. So, they're buffs, which is good because it will help some decks, but I will quickly go over them and tell you what I think of them. Lee Sin going back to 8. Momentous Choice doesn't exist anymore. This is fine. Yone going to 6. This is fine. Maybe might be playing level 1 or 2 of any Yasuo deck now. Windfare Hatchling gaining +1/+1. I think they killed this card back in the day, so this is fine now. Scattered Pod is going from a 6 mana 5/6 with a tune to a 5 mana 5/5 with no attune. I don't know how this is a buff. You can play it earlier, but like... Yeah, I'm a little confused. I don't know. We'll just say this is buff. I'm unsure about this one. Fuzzy Caretaker is gaining 1 health. This is, yeah. I don't think you're ever going to see this card played still, but it's nice. Odd one here is Ritual Renewal is going from slow to burst. Really good. This card is fine. I like the change. However, this is still available in standard. So, Ionian Tailstones is receiving a buff after its nerf in standard, but I think it's fine. You're just going to have to play around it now. Thorny Toad is changing basically from like a defensive stat line to an offensive stat line, going to a 3-1. It's fine. It's deep support. Deep players are going to fucking go crazy now. Sure, have the buff. If you're playing this on 2 instead of the other 2-drop... Wait, is that a 3-drop? No, it's a 2-drop. It's definitely a 2-drop, yeah. Sure, you do that. Crocodile is gaining fearsome. Sure. Just start giving keywords to all the shit cards. Maybe they'll see playable then. Withering Mists is going from 5 to 4 mana. This is good into aggro, which Eternal is full of. Fuck aggro. I'd rather see stuff like this. Okay, Sunny's going to start creaming because as you can see in the middle of my screen, Fangs is getting 3 attack again. You could probably see it being played again. Yeah, this is good. This is fine. If cards are supposed to be living their best life, pretty sure this was a 3-3, right? Just put it back to a 3-3. I don't know why we're being a bit arsey about 1 health. I think being a 3-3 is fine now. Mountain Scribe is gaining +1/+1. I think that's fine. There's definitely going to be some sort of Invoke deck in Eternal. We'll get to it. I still have to go over something because I can. But yeah, this is fine. Arbiter of the Peak is gaining +1/+1. I really want to put this in a Taric Poppy deck, and I want to see how good it feels. I think it might be a little bit sleeper. It's either going to be one thing, it'll be broken, or it'll be crap. I'm leaning in the... I want to say it's good, but I think that's the copium. So I think it's leaning on the bad side still, but we will see. It's a good change, though. Started Pete is going to 1 mana. I think it's kind of good now. I think this is really good. Especially in Targon decks, you're playing this on 1 instead of like Zoe. If you don't have Zoe in hand, you can play this. You play 1 card, and in 2 turns, you get 2 cards and the Celestial cards, which are always good. TK Raka getting a buff. Woo! TK Raka was the first deck I got to Masters with. This going to 2 mana is kind of good, actually. I'm not going to lie. I think this is a really funny change. I'm going to be playing Soraka Jack in Eternal. I tried it once, normal, and it felt kind of good. It depends what deck you're playing into, obviously, but yeah, Wish going to 2 is a good change. Giddy Sparkeologist is becoming a 3/3. You could probably see in this. You could probably see this card being played in an Aphelios deck, maybe, or like an Invoke deck. I could definitely see this now because it's got like a decent start line. Okay, all of these cards got 1 health, and I literally do not think it matters. Like, this wants to die anyway, which is weird. Like, maybe you can trade twice. Like, you're probably dying to a ping anyway. So, yeah, this one is irrelevant. I still don't think this is going to see play. This one is an eh. This one is a good one. If you get it off the cards that give you the 5-cost random Demacia card, yeah, sure. That one's okay. Prodigy, Investigator, and Wording Stones are all gaining 1 health. I literally don't think it matters. I still don't think... You might see Wording Stones, but, like, better Rampers come out, so I don't think you're seeing that. Eggnovio is gaining 1 health. It'll be going into the ping decks. That's it. Ryan Fang Wolf is becoming a 3/3. I think this card is really good, depending on the meta. It's a mid-range meta. This card is going to be insane. I like this change. This is good. Avaros and Outriders is getting a +1/+1. I still don't think it does anything because it's Allegiance. Freljord. And Freljord's a bad region, so no. Radiant Guardian going to a 5/5. It's a good change. Still think it's a bit too slow in the meta now, but it's nice. Molten Breath goes to 5 mana. Maybe you run it as a one-off. I don't know. And Broodmother goes to a 7/7. I think this can be a 9/9, and it still would be bad. Abyssal Guard is getting a tune. Nami is seeing her thing come back around. There's a chance that this sees play in the Nami deck in Eternal. It's not elusive though, so probably not. But it's a nice change. Lost to Riches. I'm fairly sure the only person that plays this is Legend. So Legend's going to be happy. Both of these cards are getting 1 attack. Maybe Lopin's Telescope seems play again, but like, no. And that is it for balance change. Let me just double check that I'm not missing anything. That were all the buff. And we've already gone over the Vladimir Change. Okay. This means now there's only one thing to discuss. And that's the new cards. Yes, that is right. I got access to the new cards. Because Riot, thank you Riot, you make my job so much easier when you do this, and I cannot thank you enough. So. That was a bit of a sneak peek. I can move my camera back over here. We can talk about it. See? So, Iris is a 2-mana 1/1 elusive from Ionia. Extra strike, summon a horse. So 2 things. Ionia can run this. Evelyn can run. It gives Evelyn a 2-drop that isn't the 1/3, which is nice. Depending on the deck, you probably run this in an Evelyn deck. Yep, I think for Evelyn, it's really cool. I think for Ionia, they're only going to run it in an elusive deck, and I do not want to see that. Overall, it's probably going to be a pretty decent card. The next card. I asked the other day, I asked people on Twitter, what do you want to see? And I replied as Marshall and said, I want to see a formidable card. They answered my prayers, guys. They answered it. 4-mana 0/4, which is a free slot in formidable decks. There's the Petrified Stag, but no one runs the Petrified Stag. So this is a free 4-drop. Like, there's nothing else you're playing on 4. And it says, attack, grant formidable allies everywhere 1 health. Which is crazy. This card, if formidables become meta again, it's because of this card. Galio becomes a... You attack once, Galio now has 8 health. You attack... No, he already has 8 health, right? Well, he's gaining 1 health additionally. Yeah, this is really good. This is very good. If you can get... If you're on attacking on odds, play this on 4, you play another on 5, you're giving your entire formidable ward essentially +2/+2, which is really good. It's just Grant. It is a Grant. Really good card. I like this. S tier. Cosmic Call. So, invoke a Celestial that costs 7 or more. Pay 8 to reduce the cost of Celestials everywhere by half, rounded up. This is the Invoke card that I was talking about before. If there is an Invoke deck, which is most likely going to be an Eternal, because you have the Fangs now, you have a couple of cards, it's because of this card. I think it's really cool. We will have to see how it does. It's going to be one of those. It'll either see a lot of play, or it will see no play. I'm in the middle. It will either do one or the other, and I'm unsure because I don't play the type of deck, but I like it. And then this is the 8-cost version of the card, and then this is the 2-cost to just if you. Okay. I'm gonna say this card, and then I want, as a collective of the people watching this video, I want you to tell me why this card is bad. This is a 2-mana landmark in Noxus. Allies cost 1 less. When you play an ally, deal 2 to it. Okay? I want you to tell me why this is bad. I'll give you 2 seconds. Okay? Are we all in agreement? Why is this in standard? This is a Vladimir card where Vladimir can't even be played. You're essentially printing this card for standard, as well as Eternal, so Vladimir can play it. But there's no deck that wants to play this. What is this? This isn't a card that you want to print. Effect, very cool. I like it. It's still bad. I'm sorry. Next. Crystalline Stormraptor, a 5-mana 3/2 that says play, deal 2 to all other unit. This is Blighted Ravine in Freljord on a unit. It has to be good. Next. Divine Draft. 2 things to talk about this. This is Janna. So, Janna, the next champion we're getting for Piltover and Zord. They do say that these are teasers. That's a question. Let's see what Janna's doing. Deal 1 to the enemy. So deal 1 to an enemy, or the enemy nexus, and deal 1 again. So, this is Static Shock without the draw, but it has Janna, which is very, very confusing. It's also slow. I forgot to mention that. It's a 2-mana slow card. This is good, but I'm more concerned about what Janna's going to be doing. Next. Oh! Okay. This card, I love the design of. Right, so it's 1 mana, it's a 0/3. 1 mana 0/3? Okay, that sounds pretty bad. Let's read what it says. It's Mr. Thrift. Okay, I'm liking the card a little bit. When one or more of your traps or boons activate, plant 2 of that in the player's deck. Okay. So it's not a 1-mana card, because, well, it is a 1-mana card, but you're not playing this on turn 1. If you're playing this on turn 1, you're probably trolling a bit. You can play this on 1 and play Esmus on 2, and then you're activating a trap. Sorry, you're activating a boon on turn 3, then planting 2 boons in if it survived. I don't think that's good. I think you're waiting for Chimes to hit this in a Bard Nora deck because it's in Bandle, and yeah, I think you're trying there. The funny thing is, you can play this with the what's it called? Portal decks. You get a portal, put 2 portals in your deck. So we're like tripling your portal value, which is like pretty good considering their unit. This one, it's a bit odd. I don't think it'll be massively played, but it's a funny card. I like it. This is the spell for the Freljord card. So, Proliferating Dark Wraith, a 1-mana 1/1, Last Breath, create in deck an exact copy of the strongest Proliferating Dark Wraith in your deck, then double the stats of the Dark Wraiths in deck. So, you play this on 1, and it dies. You make another copy in deck, so you go back to having 3, but now there are 2/2. Draw 1. It's a 2/2 for 1 mana. That's decent stats. That's like base stats for a 1-mana card. You play it, it dies, goes into the deck. The next one is a 4-cost card. 1 mana. It's a 1-cost card that's a 4/4. That is pretty good. This is a Viego card. This is going to be very good, I think, in Viego, because eventually, like, you're playing this as an early card, and Viego likes to go late, and then this gets even stronger in the late game. And the stronger this unit is when it dies, Viego gets more level up condition, which is probably pretty good. I think this card's going to be very good in Viego decks. If Viego gets into meta. He's not seen that often, but I can see it. This card, I like the design, I like that it's slow early, and it ramps up. It's basically ramp on a unit. I like it. Oh, the next card is Tidal Invocation, which is a 2-mana fast spell. Deal 1 to a unit, spawn 1 for each damage dealt. This card goes with BB, and probably BB alone. Give you like an extra unit, but I still don't think it's that good. I could see it being good. but we'll have to see. I can see it being good with the BB. If there's a BB deck that comes back, I can see BB running this, but apart from that, I don't think you're running it with. Okay, so first thing, Chip is terrifying. It's a 3-mana landmark, Valley of Imitation. When you play a follower, transform me into an exact copy of it this round. I retain granted buff. So, I play this on 3, and I play... I don't know. What we got to play on 4 in a Shurima deck. And it had to be a... So, I thought this was a Thralls card. It's not. It's a play effect. So, I don't know. You're playing, I don't know, what's 4 up? Just say you play like a 3-mana 3. That's like an average stat. So you get 2 of them. Sure. There's probably something that's going to be insanely broken with this. It's going to include a high-cost card. I can't figure it out. Someone's going to make a broken deck with this. Mark my word. People are going to enjoy it. Funny card, though. I like it. And that's it. That's the end of the thing. Shurima, Bilgewater, Shadow Isles, Vandal City, Piltover and Zorn, Freljord, Noxus, Targon, Demacia, and Ionia. Got 10 cards. 10 pretty decent cards. There's not that many that missed. This one's a big miss, in my opinion. This one's a little bit but it's still pretty funny. I like it. But yeah. So, that is it for this video. I have been speaking for 47 minutes. I have to cut a bit out because my brother came in, so that cut at the start. This patch is amazing. The amount of buffs we got, very good. I like it. I think the Eternal buffs can go a little bit harder, though. We'll see what Riot likes to do. Bearing in mind, this is only the second time, so they're still trying to find the footing for it. But apart from that, I'm a massive fan of this. The standard balance patch is basically perfect. The only thing they didn't nerf was... They didn't nerf something. Let me just pull up the meta. They didn't nerf something, and I'm very surprised they didn't. Meta. Oh, Hammerdinga Jace. Hammerdinga Jace didn't get hit, which I feel like it should do. So, Hammerdinga Jace is also going to be running the meta. Well, yeah, that's it from me. Go and check out the LOR report patch breakdown video for like the full patch notes. Because there's a couple of other stuff like the Legacy Shop. I go into it there. I've known for like a week. I can't tell anyone. It's so frustrating. The hype that's gonna, I think it's gonna like go on Twitter is gonna be insane. I can't wait to announce it. Like literally as soon as that clock hits 6 o'clock for me, that is when my embargo is up, and I will be posting everything. My timeline is gonna be filled. But you'll see that already because this video goes live at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. So yeah, enjoy the patch notes. Enjoy the patch tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's going to be wild. This Eternal season is going to be quite fun. Standard is going to be great when we eventually go back to it for competitive. And the expansion is in 4 weeks. I have no idea what it's going to be. Could it be Janna because we've got Divine Draft? Don't know. But yeah, that's all from me. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.